Hello to all of you from around the world. I want to welcome you to another beautiful edition of Soulivity Today, broadcasting live from our studio right here in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and on KMET 1490 AM radio in Southern California. My name is Brian Westley Johnson, and we have a jam-packed, amazing show for you today. But I want to introduce and let you know that I am joined by two dear friends and Soulivity Today co-hosts. Back with us is host of Steps to Happiness show, Teresa Greco, and D'Angelo Thompson, our senior Soulivity editor at large. Hello to both of you.
Good morning, Brian and
Hello.
Teresa.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to all of you.
Oh man, now guys, I have not seen or talked to you in a minute. I was out of town for an amazing conference in Miami called the Digiday Publishing Conference, which was absolutely amazing. But
Wow.
what you guys been up to? Teresa, I'll go to you first. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there was the International Peace Festival being held here in Toronto that recognized outstanding individuals in the arts. So there was film, art, and music from around the world that were being given awards and celebrated for their efforts towards peace worldwide. So it's
Wow.
great.
Wow,
Wonderful.
that's amazing. Oh, that's really
Yeah, it was
cool. Okay. What about you? What about you, D?
Well, just finished New York Fashion Week, so that was a
That's right.
whirlwind. It was an amazing show. It was Next Frontier in Fashion at the Center, which also celebrated their
Oh,
40th year.
bravo.
Thank you. And then right now, just focusing on, I'm doing a conference in Provincetown at the beginning of October for the Powder Group, so preparing
Mhm.
for that as well. So that's it.
That's it. You guys always got cool stuff going on, you know? Yeah,
God.
yeah. Anyway, well, listen, we've got some cool stuff happening today. We have another amazing Motivational Monday where we bring to you information to get your heart pumping so that you can have a phenomenal week. And to make our show even more special, we have a very great guest. You may have seen her on our network before, and we're so glad that she's back with us to share her inspirational and phenomenal gifts. But here's a bit more about her.
Hello everyone, I am Julia Javon. I am a Reiki master and holistic healer, and I am excited to be back in New York and excited to share this experience with you all. So for today, we are going to do mainly gentle, very, very gentle yoga, more so like a movement and flow. Then we're going to go into a guided meditation with a deep breath work. You will be cleansing a lot of toxins out of your body. You will have a lot of clarity. You may have some things that may show up. Please let them just burst out of you. What we want to do here on this Wellness Day is leave better than what we came. I want you to experience clarity. I want you to experience wellness in a whole different experience. Everything here, all of us together, this sisterhood that we've created in this moment is trust, is love, and there's tons of just joy.
Oh, I love that video. Oh my gosh. It's my pleasure to welcome to Soulivity Today, Julia Javon, just an amazing person, but also an intuitive Reiki master and teacher, a transformational alchemist, and Emmy award-winning makeup artist. Girl, it is so good to have you back with us.
Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's so good to be here.
I love the fact that I almost feel like that video of you, which is, you can go out to, Julia's site at juliajavon.com and watch this. That really embodies specifically, I think, my experience of you, where you're just this giving person who's trying to help people heal. And through that healing have a transformation in their life where they now experience the fullness of who they are. One question I never asked you about, and that is, What has been your healing journey toward creating this life for yourself? What has been that healing experience for you?
Well, I would say that that healing experience is recognizing that I myself needed healing first before I can go out
Mm,
and,
hmm.
assist others on their healing journey. It required me taking a step back from certain things, situations, move to a different state,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
literally just go on a personal year sabbatical to
Wow.
dive deeper into who I am in order for me to go out and help and assist others on their healing journey. So it takes me
Wow.
to step up for oneself in order to recognize the other healing aspects of other people.
Absolutely. I asked that question first because I want people to understand that, specifically people like you and other people that are part of Soulivity who come on as guests, they're walking what they're talking, right? They're
Yeah.
not like, okay, I'm gonna say this, but I'm not doing what my mouth can't cash. And so thank you
Oh,
for
yeah.
sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Teresa, I'm gonna go to you for your question.
Hi, Julia. How are you?
Hi, Teresa. How are you? I'm great. Thank
Good.
you.
Good. Thanks for being on with us this morning. I was wondering if you could
Thank you.
tell us a little bit more about what a transformational alchemist is.
A transformational alchemist, well, to put it like this, a transformational alchemist and alchemist session all go together. And that helps and assists people, going back to their healing journey. Some people, when they come to me, they don't really want to open up. It's like suppressed emotions, it's suppressed feelings. So, one of my key modalities is the breath work. So, as I'm always doing the breath work with my clients, it starts there. The transformation begins there. The transformation begins by them recognizing that I need help and I can't do this on my own. Once they recognize that they need the assistance and they're ready and open to step up to this journey, then the transformation begins. I always
Yeah.
feel that when people come to me, they leave different than when they arrived. And I don't know if you've
Mhm.
experienced breath work before, but it is indeed, deep breath work is indeed, it's definitely life changing. And it takes a commitment, it takes the courage to just show up for yourself and allow the transformation to begin. We all are alchemists, we all
Mm.
just need to tap into it a little bit more. So I call it I call myself a transformational alchemist because you're definitely leaving me better than when you came.
Mm. Mm.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you for that. Wow. Dee?
Yes, Julia, hi. Question for you.
Hey.
Have you seen more people post 2020 seeking your help and advice?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel that 2020 was a wake up call for everyone. Going back to the year 2019, everything was moving so fast,
Yeah.
and sometimes people's careers, relationships, uh, any type of situations, I personally feel that the world was moving extremely fast and some people couldn't catch up with things. it was
Right.
it was it was it was just a lot going on, and not to say that there's not a lot going on right now, because it definitely is. I just feel that when 2020 hit, a
Hmm.
lot of people was forced to awaken,
Yes.
and some people didn't want to awaken. People were forced to dig deeper into who they were forced to confront their fears, they were forced to be emotional. A lot of people were stuck in the house, and I'm a homebody myself. I enjoy staying in the house. But there's like a lot of people who were like, oh my God, I'm in a house with all these kids and I can't stand my husband. And, they've been married for years and they're like confronting themselves in the mirror. So I feel
Right,
that
right.
a lot of that is still a lot of that is still happening, as 2020 was just 3 years ago, and it
Right.
feels
Mm-hmm.
like
Right.
yesterday.
That's true.
So a lot of people are like, the world is changing. Our kids, this generation is changing. So many things are changing, and it's still moving so fast to where even like the clients that I get, they're like, it was just summer just started yesterday, and now
Right.
it's fall. Like, what's
Right.
happening? And I
Yeah.
feel, we have to position ourselves for this new world, for a
Mm.
new mindset, and to start letting go of things that are no longer needed. Everyone wants to hold on to certain things. It's time to let go so that we can make
Oof.
room for new and exciting things.
Mm. Thank you.
I'm
So yeah,
loving
I definitely see more.
I'm loving how this conversation is starting already, because I've already got a great question I'm going to ask you. But we're going to take a quick break and take care of a little business on our side. But we'll be back with more of Soulivity Today, everybody, where we're talking about healing yourself from the inside out with intuitive Reiki master and teacher, Julia Javon. We'll be right back. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Happy Travelers Tours and Old Vine Wine Tours. You can find all of the Satana products at our Go shop at go.soulivity.com.
Have you ever asked the question, if I was to be anything, what would I be? Regardless of money, regardless of status, beyond popularity and fame, living your passion, feeling your life has purpose. Soulivity is a space to nurture that which lives in all of us. A place where work can become play, and doing what we love creates the dreams of a lifetime.
Hey there, we're back with more here on Soulivity Today. We're talking about healing yourself from the inside out with intuitive Reiki master and teacher, Julia Javon. Julia, you were just talking about something. I think that was something that was really, really, really important. And that is, specifically coming out of into the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic, things just like started flying by, right?
Yes.
Which was completely different than when we were in the pandemic, where it taught us to slow the heck down. How do you
Yes.
get people to, number one, realize that that's what's going on, and have them kind of stay in the present moment? Because that's where the healing is, right?
The healing is beginning with the courage to confront your pain, your uncertainties, your emotions. It begins when you decide to prioritize your well-being, your wellness, and whatever holistic lifestyle that you're trying to create, for yourself. A healing, not a healing, but a more healthier lifestyle. It starts there. And in order to guide and assist, because I never say that, I am a healer. My
Yeah.
main job, my main goal is to actually assist you on your healing journey, because we're
Yeah.
all healers.
Right.
Sometimes some of us need a little bit of a boost a little bit of support. And I, highly recommend that in the midst of your self-discovery or, whatever it is that you're seeking to, reach out to some loved ones, a therapist, or a support group, or even, other healers, myself or anyone else, to support and assist you on your journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. D?
Julia, you also do distance Reiki healing as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain to our viewers how that works, or listeners, distance versus in person?
With distant healing, we are on a one-on-one on a Zoom, and both in person and distant are pretty much the same, and except that
Mm-hmm.
there's no touch involved.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you're connected to the other person on the other end, you will feel a difference, and it takes
Yes.
again, opening up, being able to wanting to be open to accept the possibilities of the healing journey when we're talking about distant. But there is a lot of one-on-one talking that goes involved there. It is, me seeing your face, you seeing my face. Some people have, been off the camera, but
Mm-hmm.
as
Mm-hmm.
far as me being an intuitive, I feel a lot. So I
Mm-hmm.
can still pick up on what's going on the other end. And sometimes that's a little challenging for me sometimes, because when people are talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
either on a camera or in person, or they may turn their camera off, I feel so many things to where sometimes my voice can get crumbled because I
Right.
feel all of their emotions, or I feel the talk within themselves. And I'm
Right.
trying to gather my thing and gather theirs. And it's not a confusing situation. It's just, it takes time. So the
Mm-hmm.
distant healing goes into literally tapping into another person's overall wholeness of themselves. It takes time, it takes patience, and it also takes the other person, giving the okay for me to tap in with them, with them.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't just
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, come on, let's do a distant healing. I have to get your approval. And once that
Right.
approval happens, then the
Right.
magic happens.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I
Thank you.
definitely do one-on-ones, virtually. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, that's beautiful. Teresa, do you have a question?
Yes, I was wondering, Julia, if you could tell us about the importance of breath work for our nervous system, and then if you might be able to also offer us a quick type of breath work or form of breath work that we could do, in the moment when we're starting to feel overwhelmed. If there's a particular technique that you could offer that, maybe one of your favorites that could immediately, bring someone down who is feeling angry, frustrated, and needs, some centering and some grounding in the moment.
Mm.
Absolutely. Well, with breath work, I always say that people will definitely get high off their own supply. It will bring
Love that.
I love it. I love it.
you definitely will, and you will. And just to talk about the experience of it before I dive deep into what it is and how to do it, uh, the most important thing people need to know is what goes on with this breath work. Something so simple as taking a deep inhale and exhaling with an ah. Seems so simple, right?
Yeah.
But when you're doing it and you're actively doing it and you're literally conscious of what you're doing, you will find yourself battling with yourself. You will feel
Mm.
tingling in your hands. You will realize the suppressed feelings and emotions that are starting to rise above. And when you're doing it in a group, you're like, I don't want people to see me cry. I don't want people to hear me shout. You're
Mm.
literally having a personal battle with yourself.
So true.
So,
Yeah, that's right.
and a
That's right.
lot of a lot of people, I think it benefits so many people when you're frustrated, when you're angry, when you're confused, when you just need to take a break And as something as little as 10 minutes can actually help. 25 to 30 minutes will help you tremendously. So it starts like this. You're taking a deep inhale through your nose and you're filling your belly with air. And as you're exhaling, you're releasing with an ah. Now, usually in my class, people like to give me the really cute and sweet ah. No, I want you to say ah, not to get so loud because we're, on radio, but it's literally it's like a gigantic ah, and that magical ah, that ah, literally you will align your own chakras. You will align your own throat chakra, especially your throat chakra. And this is so benefiting for people who have a problem with public speaking, who have a problem with, explaining what they feel, their emotions, because what happens is that their throat chakra is blocked. But when you open that portion and you're you're inhaling through your nose, filling your belly with air, and then you're exhaling with a gigantic ah, you're starting to relax. The tension is loosening. You find yourself, like, okay, I feel what's going on. But now you're doing it at rapid rates. So you're inhaling and you're exhaling with an ah. Inhaling, exhaling with an ah. You're constantly doing this for about 25 to 30 minutes. 10 minutes can help and slow down and, give you a little reprogramming, little rejuvenation. But the 20 to 30 minutes will be very benefiting.
Do you find that when people are going through this experience, it's a little, I mean, it's meditative, but it's a little different than meditation itself? Because I find that when people are doing meditation, sometimes they say, well, I can't get out of my head, right? I'm always thinking. Breath work, you're focusing on your breath. There is no time to think, right? Do you find that to be true in terms of your clients, in terms of like, wow, I'm really enjoying this because I'm not in my head as much?
Well, I do have some people that enjoy it. They, some people don't like to do it, to be perfectly honest with you. And the reason being is that emotions come. And some people, like I said before, they're suppressing their emotions. They're suppressing their feelings. So at the end, when they're going through it, it's like, what the heck is happening? The fingers are tingling. You're battling. You want to give up, but now you don't want to give up. You're having all these mixed emotions. And at the same time, you're focusing on your breath. But your breath is causing you to show up fully for yourself, to look yourself in the face and say, no, you're not going to stay the same. The breath is telling you, I'm here to assist you, to heal you, to guide you. And sometimes people battle with their own breath. And it's a universal life force energy. Your breath is your energy. Your breath is your healing.
Very true.
We wake up and we're breathing. We're waking up. We're even like, I have teenagers and they give me the, I mean, you're using your breath for so many emotions, so when those emotions rise to the top and you're being forced to battle with yourself, I would never say that when all of these situations or this experience is happening for you, that it's negative. But what it is, it's telling you that you as yourself, with the breath work, with the meditation, you're telling yourself without saying, I'm showing up for you. I'm here for you. Trust me.
Wow.
Trust yourself. I got you. So
wow.
Never be afraid of the breath. The breath is it's better than a high. It's better than a cup of coffee. When you use it right and you're using it correctly, it's so healing. It's so benefiting. And when you come out on the other side, it's magnificent. It's a beautiful experience.
Wow. Thank you for this. Oh, I'm feeling this from my head to my toes already because it's so vitally important, right? I mean, it's It's the, breath is the bookends of our human journey, right? It begins with our breath when we come in from the birth
Yes.
process, and it
Right.
ends when we transition, right?
Yes.
So it is so, 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 so powerful. Listen, everybody, we're going to take
My
a quick
experience
break.
wasn't great. Oh, sorry.
Hold on to that thought, because we're going to take a quick break and I want to hear about it, but we're going to pay some bills real quick. And we'll be back with more Soulivity Today in just a second.
6 years ago, when I started Soulivity, my vision was to support everyone in improving their
Heading
life
out.
through the discovery of their passion and purpose, so they could become the best version of themselves, to battle fear and ignorance, and create a better world today. Get inspired to live your passion and purpose. Visit soulivity.com now.
Do you see me kneeling on this dual roller called Parasetter? It's actually comfortable because of this channel and the softness of the special foam. It feels like my kneecaps are being massaged. When I lie down, my spine is housed in this channel, while the convex rollers massage my muscles. They let go and lengthen. There's a traction effect from my head on the headrest and my mid-back from the rib wrap, which hugs me. When I start the breathing sequence, I feel calm because my cortisol levels are dropping. Lower cortisol means bye-bye constant hunger. Parasetter is 40 inches long and much more comfortable than old-style rollers, but it weighs only 10 ounces. Parasetter, just like Pilates was, is no longer an insider secret. Do yourself a favor. Reset your parasympathetic nervous system. Defeat stress. Lying, sitting, kneeling, or standing. This unique patented roller helps everyone.
Hey, we're back here with more on Soulivity Today. We're talking about healing yourself from the inside out with intuitive Reiki master and teacher, Julia Javon. Hey, girl, you were just about to say something at the end of the last break, and I want to give you a moment just to kind of like finish that thought, because I think it was very important. We're kind of talking about the breath, actually our breathing, and how deeply spiritually we are connected to that, even if we're not aware of it.
I was actually giving a little example of my first experience for those who
Perfect.
had never experienced it before. And it was a few years ago, and I'll make it very short. A friend of mine had told me about it, and I always wanted to, do it. But when I got there and we started off with the breathing and it was nice, and then, the facilitator speeded up. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. It's nothing. It's literally like a workout, right? And so
Right.
he's going, he's, coaching us to keep going and keep going. And bam, it just clicked. My fingers, I was like, wait, what's happening? I started getting mad. Like, is he yelling at me? Is he telling me? No one tells me what to do. And I'm just breathing. And he's like hitting the gong. And I'm like, what is he doing? This does not make any sense. What is my body doing? Girl, you need to stop. And I couldn't stop. And I kept going, and I just kept going, and I kept going. To when it was done, I felt this vibration of just love just take over my entire body. The whole group was just like, we didn't know each other, but we held space with each other.
Yeah.
And like this lady didn't know me. She looked at me. She's like, I love you. And I'm like, I love you too. And it was just so magical. And it was like, wow, I literally went through some things for 30 minutes. And I almost gave up, but I didn't.
Wow.
But it's like you're looking at yourself in a mirror and you have this person saying, oh, you want to stop. You don't want to keep doing it. But, you have this other person's like, no, I can't stop. I got to do this for me. So that's just an example.
Teresa, you're a Reiki master as well, right? You've
Yes,
gone
I
through
am.
the study.
Yeah.
What was your first experience with deep breath work? Because I know you've done some of this too.
I would Yeah, I recently did some of this in Mexico actually too. And that's why my next question with Julia is she also included the sound healing with it too, which I see that you also do. So I also want to ask about, the combination of the both, the breath
Yeah.
work with the sound. And it is, I would say, similar to exactly how Julia is describing it, the sensations in the body.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you play with that breath that at first, we breathe so much faster these days than people did in the like 1940s,
Yes.
where
Yes.
apparently
Yes.
they used to have six complete inhales and out
Mm-hmm.
and exhales, where we're at like anywhere between 15 and 20. So we breathe very, very rapidly.
Or not
And
at
when you have
all.
this,
Or not at all, Teresa.
right, because it's so quick, right? And so
Yeah.
we when you're doing the work and you're playing around with like just the duration and length of the inhales and exhales, and even just the speed of it, as Julia said too, it's amazing how that translates into the blood stream, and then how
Mm-hmm.
that feels just viscerally throughout the body. um it's definitely an experience that I would encourage people to try, and just to let go, right? It's
Yeah.
important
Yes.
that you just let go and don't
Mm-hmm.
resist anything that's happening. Just let go, close your eyes and just let go. And then that's where I think the real experience and healing can take place.
Mm.
So
Absolutely.
Julia, maybe you could also speak to people about the sound healing work that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and if you, I don't know, do you also incorporate it along with the breath work, and how that enhances the experience?
Yes, I most definitely included with the breath work. With my transformational, well, okay, so I have a program that I just started called The Art of Transformational Healing. And it's actually called The Art of Transformational Alchemy. It's a healing
Okay.
modality that I started a couple of weeks ago. And the video that you have, that was actually one of the examples, one of the sessions that we
Mm.
just took place in Brooklyn a couple of weeks
Beautiful.
ago.
It's beautiful.
So we usually incorporate, and thank you, we usually incorporate that towards the end to allow the sound of the sound bowls, which I use is the crystal alchemy sound bowls. And I also
Mm.
use the Tibetan sound bowls. And I too have done some studying in Mexico and in Africa. So I incorporated a lot of my teachings from those two places into my, excuse me, my sessions that I teach to other clients. And the sound healing, the sound bath is just a plus to the entire experience. And I love to do it towards the end where people are returning back to their normal breathing. They're
Hmm.
sitting, within themselves, they're relaxing, they're, trying to let everything process from the breath work, all the things that
Yeah.
they've experienced. And then
Yeah.
I allow all the frequencies to just take over.
Ooh.
It just takes over your entire body. It's
Wow.
cleansing you. It's revitalizing you. And everyone truly, truly loves it. And the crystal sound bowls are just a magical extra spiritual tool that I love to use because sound healing is beneficial to all of us. The frequencies, the the the, the movement, the way it makes us move, even though we're still,
Yes.
but the blood, the alignment, everything is just, it's a magical tool.
Wow. 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 Great question. Great question, Teresa. Listen, we're going to take
Yes.
another quick break, but we've got even more coming up with here on Soulivity Today for another Motivational Monday. So we'll be right back. We'll be back in about a couple minutes. Soulivity Today is brought to you by Assume control over your weight and broader health with the 80 Bites program by Physical Mind Institute.
For 50 years we've been told, load up your plate with veggies. Load them up. Because all this spinach, look at it, all the spinach is only 100 calories. But avoid fat because a tiny sliver of butter is also 100 calories. So spinach is good, butter is bad, right? But not today. Now we're told, put butter on everything, even in your coffee. Why? Because fat doesn't spike insulin as carbs do. And stretching the stomach with all those veggies unbalances our digestive hormones. So eat healthy today means fat, fasting, stomach control, right here's the stomach. Forget calories. Hormones rule, and 80 bites is the solution.
Are you ready to take that first step towards true, unwavering inner happiness? Are you like thousands of people who have everything they need, not want, but need, and still can't seem to find happiness and fulfillment in their lives? If so, the Steps to Happiness show is for you. On my show, you will learn about the principles and practices that lead to true inner happiness. Because guess what? It isn't found in our external environment, but within ourselves instead. Together with my guests, we will explore the latest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being practices, and together we'll advise you on the actionable steps you can take towards a happier, more fulfilled, authentic life. So I invite you to join me each week on Soulivity TV on the Steps to Happiness show with me, Teresa Greco.
Hey there, we're back with here on more of Soulivity today, where we're talking about healing yourself from the inside out with intuitive Reiki master and teacher, Julia Javon. Julia, man, things go by so quickly on this show sometimes. Tell us more about like when this next experience for people is happening in your studio, because you were just talking about how people can learn to be alchemists, right?
Yes, they can learn to be alchemists. They can, not so much as learn to be alchemists, it's basically just learning how to heal themselves
Right.
using different modalities, using, different healing techniques. But this main one that I have is October 14, and it's the Art of Transformational Alchemy. And it consists of meditation, deep breath work, some yoga, and ending with a sound bath. But you're also getting Reiki. I go to each and every one and, administer Reiki to each person while they're having the breathwork experience. So it's like a multi-sensory experience that we have created. I have a sponsor, Eccentric Skincare, who comes in and they, teach about skincare. And then I myself come in and, we teach about the art of transformational alchemy.
Oh, I love it. We're showing a little bit of that video again on your website so that people can see all the beautiful things that you're doing. You can learn more about this by going to Julia's site at juliajavon.com. Listen, I'm so glad you're here again.
Thank you.
Would you
Thanks
come
for
back?
having me.
Would you come back and join us and talk to us more about things you're doing, and specifically this kind of work? Because I think sometimes that when we're going through our day to day, we don't realize consciously what we're kind of manifesting, right?
Yeah.
And what we're kind of telling ourselves over and over and over again, specifically with how we feel, because that's the connector, right? A lot of times it's not just what we say, it's how we feel, and that this is a way to kind of heal that work, do that work and heal ourselves, especially the breath work, right?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I just feel that, it's very important that even within the guiding of the individuals that, feel called to come to me for any services, is helping them to remember to discover their own inner resources and their potential for
Mm,
healing. I think a lot
mm,
of
mm.
people need to understand that, you know, as long as they're ready, it's not going to be a smooth ride, but as long as you're ready, that's when the
Yeah.
transformation begins as well. Just
Mm,
saying,
mm.
I'm ready and
You
willing to
know,
be open. Yeah.
yeah, Teresa, when I'm thinking about what Julia's saying right now, it's that door opens, right?
Mhm.
And we sometimes we hesitate and we don't take the next step, which is like
There you
going
go.
to see, like going to see someone like Julia, where we can activate that part of ourselves that's trying to heal us, which leads to things like what you're talking about, even in your work with being happy, right?
Mhm.
What are some of
And a
your
lot of
final thoughts? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, and I was just, my last question would be if Julia could just speak to the importance of self-care and self-love, that a lot of, what she's doing really comes back to us taking time out to do some of that self-care, which is really a form of self-love. So, I would really love to emphasize how important it is for us to take time out of our busy schedule to be able to connect and nurture these very important aspects of ourselves, which, is all happening at once in
Yeah.
some of the work that, Julia is doing. So if you could maybe just emphasize how important it is for people to do that.
Absolutely. And I definitely, I'm that person when it comes to taking time out for myself. So, and I
Yeah.
highly recommend that people show up for themselves. And I say this because, as a person that gives and gives, we have
Yeah.
families, we have jobs, we have, relationships. We have so many things going on within us and around us each and every day to where we
Yeah.
find ourselves just giving and giving and giving to where your cup is empty. So you always have to take time for self-care, mind, body, and spirit to refill your cup. So that way when you're giving from your overflow. I always want to make sure that my cup is full with love within myself, within my family, taking time to breathe, showing up every morning for meditation. Even though I may have to be on set or at work or at the studio at 8 in the morning and I have children, it's very important that you give yourself time to wake up early and to meditate, just to be still, even if you have no words to say,
Yeah.
showing up for yourself each and every day, whether that's in the morning or at night. When you're giving from your overflow, it doesn't feel so forced. It doesn't feel so overwhelming because you're always making sure, that you're taking care of you so that you're able to take care and assist other people. So
Mm.
don't be selfish, don't be selfish, but actually be a little selfish with yourself sometimes, not in an
Right.
egotistical way,
Yeah.
not in
Yeah.
a, like it's all about me, but sometimes you do have to say it to yourself. It's got to be about me for a little bit in order for it to be about whoever else.
Mhm.
So it's very
Mhm.
Mm.
important, to show up for yourself. Self-care Sunday, self-care Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever time, whatever day you feel that time needs to get in, make it happen. And another thing, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Even if you
No.
just boil a cup of tea, make some tea or take a bath or read a book or just sit in 10 minutes of stillness.
Mm,
That's a
mm, mm.
whole lot of self-care.
Do you know that
Beautiful.
I still there was one show back when we were doing Soulivity Live where you were talking about having water around your house. Remember that?
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Hmm.
yeah,
Still
yeah.
do it.
I still do it, and it's been
Ah,
And it's one way that I do that self-care. So,
Yeah.
thank you for this has been a great show. And what a way to begin a week, right? With
Yeah,
talking
absolutely.
about self-care and doing some deep healing work in different ways, especially the breath work. It is everyone,
Mhm.
please reach out to Julia, especially if you're in the New York area. Um, on her website, juliajavon.com. We have the link that's in our show, but it's also out on our chat. Julia, thank you again for being here and shining a
Thank you
light
for
on this.
having me.
No, 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 no.
Thank you.
It's been our pleasure for you to be here.
I
You are
appreciate
a
you all
light.
three.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You listen, you are a light and you're shining a light on this. And so I think it's so vitally important. And so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't
Thank
wait
you.
for you to
Thank
come
you,
back.
Brian. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
Listen, we're going to take another quick break, but we got a little bit more Soulivity today to talk about. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in a couple minutes. We'll be right back with more Soulivity today.
Hi there, Sheila Applegate here with some exciting news. I've joined the incredible Soulivity team as the host of the new Consciously Awesome live show, where I will be sharing insights to help you discover your full brilliance and claim the vibrant life you deserve. So tune in every Wednesday right here on Soulivity TV to join the fun, and remember to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an awesome week, and I will see you on Wednesday.
Would you like to be one of the first people to experience mental freedom? Mental freedom is a coaching practice with 6 core principles: improving hope, self-efficacy, optimism, resilience, and general well-being. Mental freedom only takes 6 sessions. It is designed to give you the tools you need to help yourself. It can help with any situation: relationship problems, past trauma, career decisions, parenting challenges, addiction, and mental health concerns. Incorporating the mental freedom framework into your life will deliver an approach to master any situation and a pathway toward achieving inner peace. Mental freedom provides the information and tools that you need to grow and be bigger than anything that ever happens to you. So if you're looking for one-on-one or a group coaching program that will allow you to address any situation that comes up in your life with practical tools to give you more peace and joy, then join the Mental Freedom Program in Soulivity's Aspire Academy. There are very limited spots available, so don't delay. I hope to see you there.
Hey, we're back here with more of Soulivity today. So much to talk about, but so little time. And we're glad that you made it here for another Motivational Monday. Let's do some shameless plugs. I know D'Angelo had to take off earlier today, but he has got a great program that's coming up on Monday, October 30th, which is about the art of pivoting, which is a course designed by D'Angelo teaching creatives, students, and entrepreneurs how to take leaps of faith in their life when it comes to their personal and professional world. It's going to be held in New York, and you can register at Eventbrite at eventbrite.com. Teresa, you've got something fantastic that we just played a commercial spot called 6 Weeks to Mental Freedom. Can you tell people a little bit more about that course itself?
Yes, this program is for everyone.
Yes.
This is what I'm trying to emphasize, is that we need tools to be able to handle the day-to-day stuff that comes up, maybe some of the past stuff that happens that still may be lingering and ruining our peace and happiness in the present moment, as well as maybe even things in the future that might be upsetting and causing some anxiety and stress and doubt around that. So it is about really every week learning a different tool that can help you to tackle anything that comes your way. And so many of us are just going about reactionary to things that are happening outside of us. And then we're internalizing that, but we don't have the tools to be able to make sense of it and to return ourselves to our wholeness. And that's what the Mental Freedom Program is. It's about arming ourselves with those tools that we can apply to any situation to bring ourselves back to that state of peace and really giving ourselves that mental freedom. So I really encourage people to check out the program, because it's for people of all ages, any situation. It's been shown to, the tools have been shown to work really and be able to be to address anything that's robbing your mental freedom.
Wow. 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 Well, listen, I highly recommend it. And we put more information out in our chat, or you can go to soulivity.com/Teresa Mental Freedom for more information and to sign up. Listen, before we get out of here, just want to remind everybody to follow us on social media. We're on all the major platforms. You'll learn more about things that we're doing, but we'll also be able to get some inspirational and motivational resources and content to help you going through your day by day, including videos and posts and shorts and all kinds of cool things. Also, remember to go to our website at soulivity.com, where we have even more inspirational information that's available, including our Soulivity TV channel that broadcasts 24 hours a day for your inspiration. Teresa, thank you for being here, girl. I appreciate you being here. This has been
Thank
a
you
really,
so
really
much.
good, really good show. Listen, we got to get out of here. Thank you for being here. We'll catch you next time on Soulivity Today.
This work is subject to copyright owned by Affinity Global LLC. Any reproduction or republication of all or part of this is expressly prohibited unless Affinity Global LLC has explicitly granted its prior written consent. All other rights reserved.